Coming up on this week's episode.
Don't wait until you have all the answer, and don't wait until you have all the resources. Because in the scriptures, we see that when we start with what we do have and offer it to God, miracles happen.
Hello and welcome to the Transformation Podcast with Metamorphic. My name is Jordan and I'll be your host as we interview team members and special guests to be inspired and empowered to bring transformation wherever we are. You can head to our website metamorphic.global for more resources and opportunities to bring transformation around the world. Welcome to the Metamorphic Zone, where we laugh at the impossible and then do it. Hello and welcome to the Transformation Podcast with Metamorphic. And today I'm back with Neardey and we're going to be speaking about using your resources to see transformation. So the first question to begin, Neardey, when you were growing up, would you say that you had a lot? And did you think that you could do anything significant in your life?
Hello everyone, and hello Jordan. Thank you for the question. So for me, growing up, I wouldn't say that I have a lot, but I would say that I have enough. And that's give credit to my parents. They've been trying so hard, working so hard to provide me and my sister, and especially got me to access to the education. And back then, I wouldn't think that I could do anything significant in life. Maybe I had a dreams or just wish that I could leave or do the job that other people do. But if you ask me now, what I doing right now is something that I can do significantly in my life, because being part of the Kingdom Churches movement, being part of the transformation, being part of our church planter journey is really encouraging me. And seeing them transform, seeing them planning churches, seeing them transform their community, seeing them planning doing well in their business, I'm really encouraging by that. And even though I'm not the only one that doing the job or doing all the work, we have other of team members, our partners, and our church planter themselves that doing it. It's like we are partnering, and it still make me feel grateful that being a small part of their journey of the transformation.
Why is it important that we see that we can use what we already have?
It's really important to see what we can use. If we're talking about community development, we mostly thinking of we need the outsider of the community to help. But most issue in a community can begin to solve by the people, the resource, the assets that already available in the community itself. Because the truth is, every community has the assets. And start with what you can do. Don't wait until you have all the answer, and don't wait until you have all the resources. Because in the scriptures, we see that when we start with what we do and have, like what we do have and offer it to God, miracles happen. And you achieve more than we ever imagined possible. And the same principle when we begin to looking at way to solve our problem or our community problem. So the idea is to use whatever that you already have in your hand or already have in your community. When I'm talking about the asset that we have, it's everything, like people, all the assets and resources that you already seen in your community.
Can you share with me any examples from your life where you've seen God do miracles through what you had in your hands?
Yeah, there is a miracle that I have seen in my life, especially in my family. If I'm thinking about that, there is something that, like in growing up, just like I said, we don't have a lot, but we have enough. But I see what we have in our hands, especially from my mom and my dad, that they use what they have, their talent, their asset that they already have to grow the family, business, and everything that they can provide. My mom is a good cook, so she's cooked for when we have a seminar or something. She cooked for people that who joined the seminar, and she sell this and that, everything that it's her talent is a cooking, and she's doing great with that. And with the pig as well, she raising the pig with 1 pig to 10 pigs. I'm growing up like with the pig, raising the pig. So, but those pigs have been blessed by God, and we get a lot of income to support our family through the business that she do in back then. Yep.
And how does our faith in God affect the way that we view our resources?
Absolutely. Faith in God really affect the way that we view our resource. Because sometimes in life we focus so much on something that we don't have, or something that we think that we are limited. We do not have enough, but we forget what we have that God has given us. And sometimes, like what we have that we think that doesn't enough, is not enough. It's all we need to bring a significant transformation, just like David. Because when God called David to defeat Goliath, like all he has is a slingshot and 5 stones, and it does not look enough. But David has a faith in God and knew that God has already equipping him and everything he needs to fight Goliath. It's the same apply to us, because having faith in God and knowing that He is the God of provider, He's a God of abundance. Whatever we have in our hand, He will bless us and multiply it.
How have you seen church planters use what they have to make an impact?
I have seen so many impact that our church planter make by using what they have to their community. Like Neardey, she's in her 60s, and she used to think that she cannot do so much of the work. But after the training, she sees that she has the resource, she has the ability to start a kindergarten. And the kindergarten starting at her house, at the church. But at the same time, the church is the house. It has so, which means like in Metamorphic, when we talk about church, it's not just the building, but a house church in the community. And church we encourage our church planter that community is our church. It's not the building or the Sunday service. So we want them to encourage them to focus on everything that's happened and going on in their community and be involved in their community. So she used all the resource that she has to teach the kid and teaching the Bible as well. And at the same time, that's how the parent for like to have somebody to look after the small kid while they go into work. But at the same time as well, she's trained her grandson to help her with the kindergarten, and as well as at the same time to planning church in the community and in others villages too.
For someone who's listening who feels like they don't have enough, what would you say to them?
Even a small action can make a big difference. Every effort counts, no matter how it may seem small. You may have thought that you have too many flaws, or you don't have higher education, or you do not come from the right background, or you do not have talent enough, or you do not have enough. But let me tell you right now that all those negative thought of yours is not true. And even those is the negative word of others says about you is not true. But God choose you and see you more than enough in His hand. And whatever you are holding right now, whatever God has filled you in with, it is your slingshot and 5 stone. And you have to bring the victory and defeat the enemy, to transform your community and expand His kingdom.
Brilliant. So what's one thing that our listeners can do today to start using their resources for God's kingdom?
One thing that they can do to use the resource to expand God's kingdom is to practice to be kind and spreading love and compassion. If you think that you don't have enough to make a difference or brings transformation, it's time to quit looking down on yourself and quit talking yourself down out of your greatness, because God is not limited by who you are, where you're from, or your age, by your education, or by what you think you are not have. All He asks you and I to do is to use all the little thing that we already have, and don't wait until we think that we have everything. The miracle will happen, because the miracle will happen when you and I choose to obey God, and we already equipped it with everything we need to fulfill His calling in our life and to build His kingdom.
Amen. Neardey, thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Transformation Podcast with Metamorphic. Make sure to head to our website, metamorphic.global, where you'll find resources to empower you, as well as opportunities through partnership to bring transformation to the world. Follow us on social media. All the links will be down below in the show notes. Thank you for listening.